good Sunday morning, everybody, and welcome to Chat with Charles. We have Steve Resor here for part two, and that's right, Resor, Ben. Resor.
Resor. It's a regional thing, I think.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. So we're back for part two,
Yeah.
and so I got questions, you got answers. Hopefully, the chat will have some questions. Maybe they'll dive into something that we're not thinking about. So if you got questions for Steve, get him down there in the chat, and he's going to do his best to make up an answer for him.
Get some answers.
Here you go. All right, let's see.
Not, I'll do some research and try to find some answers.
There you go. I like that. Oh, you say hi, create an answer. All right, so we've got Martin of L&M Guitar Corner saying it's Steve.
Martin, how you doing, man?
Part two. Hello. And then we got Herb of Fireside Studios, who was awesome over there on Charles Green Friday night, who's making breakfast and he's hungry. Well, I'm hungry too, so breakfast can have
that's got something to do with some bacon and eggs, maybe.
Bacon and eggs sounds good. I was gonna do barbacoa tacos, but then I realized I didn't have any tortillas. I'm out of luck.
That makes it hard for a taco.
Yeah. Oh, we got Cushman NYC says he can't make the show, but he's going to watch the replay because he wants to know all about the Steve. Didn't get enough in part one, so
Good to see Kush. We'll have him back.
We got Paul McNary saying, "Hey all."
Hi, Paul.
Well, hello there, Paul. Hope you and the cats are doing well. We got Big Wave Dave in the chat here.
Dave.
He's saying hello to Paul, and he's saying hello to Martin. And we got the Steve Resor guy here. Well, hello there, Steve.
Yeah.
Welcome on.
He's got coffee.
Yeah, he's got coffee and a smile and everything else.
He's got it right there.
We got Patrick Trites with the good day. Hey, well, Patrick, welcome in. And we need to have Patrick on. Patrick, you need to send me an email. Emails in the description down below. Get you on the show.
Come on, Patrick. It's fun. Talk and hang out for a little bit.
Yeah, we got brother Eddie Fay saying hello to both you and I and all the guitar aficionados out there.
I like Eddie's dogs and sunglasses.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. And we were talking about this when we were in the green room. Eddie's challenge, right? The 5-song challenge. And setting up the poll, and so we're starting it over in Guitar Safari on next Friday. I've got 4 songs. I need another one, and then we can construct our poll.
We'll get back to that here in a minute. I got a question.
All right, gotcha. We got Dastardly Dave in the chat.
Hi, Dave.
Another fellow I'd love to have on Chat with Charles, because you got a name like Dastardly Dave. There is a story behind that, Steve.
I'm sure it's not quite nefarious, but like mischievous.
Yes. At least all the records have been expunged.
Yes.
We got brother Ed hanging out.
Ed, how you doing, Ed?
Ed's been starting his a live stream on Saturdays. He had to cancel yesterday. He had something come up, but I wish him all the luck with that endeavor.
Yeah, good luck, Ed. That's most of us aren't doing that, so.
Mm-hmm. And we got Dan Gorman saying, "Hey Charles, hey Steve."
Hi, Dan.
And we got Papa Blue. Appreciate Papa Blue being in. He's getting to be a regular.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yourself up.
And the West Coast is definitely up because Hit Metal Works is here with his good day, eh?
Hey, Ken, how you doing, man?
Appreciate it. And JP Page has made his way in. Beats our resident amp expert. And Ben says Steve's wearing a Canadian shirt, at least. Well, we try.
Well, there's a little Easter egg on the last time that I was on Charles's show that I don't know if anyone's ever noticed it or not. And a little Canadian Easter egg, as a matter of fact.
So now they're going to all be scouring your background, trying to figure it out, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, you might notice it.
So is it still in the background here? Can we see it?
No.
Okay. So you're gonna have to go back to the
it's
first
actually
time.
kind of in the like what is it? Not for like this ground.
Right. In the background?
It's in there. I don't want to give too much away.
All right. So go back and watch the first time, see if you can figure it out.
Yeah.
We got BC Rich 581. He's saying 3 days of total hell on my end. I hope everyone is doing better on their end this weekend. Well, sorry that you've been going through that, bud. Let us know if there's anything you do to help out.
Yeah.
But certainly hope the sailing is smooth from here.
Yeah, Rob, hope it's getting better for you.
Yeah, for sure. We got Jimmy Botter with the WhatsApp.
Jimmy. Those guys are killing it over there on OU812.
Oh, they definitely are. They definitely are. And we got Quentin James Pops with Guitar Talk Universe saying, hey, kids. Well, hello to you, Quentin James.
I tuned in just for a few minutes when I had a chance, and I see Quentin pot and pan in his slide. That guy's awesome, man.
He is. He is a character. He will keep you laughing for sure. And we got Ryan of the OU812 crew.
Ryan.
Saying, yo.
How you doing, man?
Hello there. Wayne McConnell's made his way in. He says, hello, Dr. Stephen crew. Well, hello to you. We got fellow Texan Martian Murray, who's neither Martian nor Murray.
No. Martin.
Now that Ben does it, I can't not do it.
You can't not do it.
Oh, yeah. A reminder from Martin. Happy late birthday to JP Page 2. If I'm not mistaken, yours was on Thursday.
Oh, happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday. Yeah, I did not know that. Okay, let's see. We got Blackjack Guitar saying, hey, Charles, Steve, Chatsters, cheers.
Blackjack.
And JP Page 2 says, yeah, he also retired on Friday, so it's been a week.
Nice. Oh, awesome. Well, enjoy it, man. I'm sure you worked hard for it.
And Herb is saying hello to Martin in the chat. Love it. Let's see. I think we might have. Oh, no, Greasy Monkey Guitars has made his way in. Welcome in. That's a guy I'm definitely going to have a part 2 with. Oh my God. And we got brother Jeff K in with us saying good morning, rockers. Excuse me. Wow, I can't read. Let's see. And it's saying hello to everybody. Mm-hmm. And I know I might have missed Dan Gorman before because I saw him before. Good morning, Dan. Hope you're doing well.
Morning, Dan.
And we got Glenn Michael Thompson, Art and Music. Good morning to you. I tell you, he shortened it from Glenn Michael Thompson to GMT to make it easier for everybody. It was like,
yeah,
that's a new name. No, it's not. It's like, I looked at it Friday night and I was like, I know something about this. So, yeah. But I love that. And we got Lars Guitars, excuse me, made his way in. Welcome in, my friend.
An explore object.
And just as I'm trying to wrap up the chat, Steve Brand Johnson, welcome in, Steve. Glad to have you in.
Morning, Steve.
Good morning. Okay, so last time we talked, Steve, you said that the whole guitar journey started with riding the back of Dad's pickup truck, and he's playing a bunch of Beach Boys, and that kind of got it started for you, like with the whole, okay, what is this guitar thing? Right. And then eventually, then you kind of moved on to AC/DC, and what was the other one? I had it.
Like some Def Leppard, Motley Crue.
Leppard, yeah, it was AC/DC and Def Leppard that you kind of moved on to.
Some Scorpions and Foreigner in there, and
so you've had this whole kind of eclectic guitar journey. We talked about it, and you did the whole kind of self-taught thing. You had some buddies that had a band, and they taught you some stuff.
Yeah,
and then for a while you kind of put it down, and recently you've been picking it back up, and I can see by the bench that you're a fellow likes to noodle on his own stuff, right? You would like to work on your own stuff.
Yeah, like doing strings and minor setup things and stuff like that.
Is there anything on your guitar you won't do? Where do you draw the line? Where do you say, all right, someone else has got to do this?
Probably if I had to take the neck off a Les Paul, I would probably have somebody else do that. I don't know about refretting. I do fret dressing. I don't have the tools for it, but I would do it. I just get something and practice on first, and I'm not really that afraid to do mechanical or maintenance things on stuff.
Yeah, it depends on which one you're working at. Yeah, I think I think Phil has always given the best advice about that. Have this one guitar you don't, have this guitar that you don't really care about where you can learn stuff on, right? So if you're trying to learn frets and you really mess up the frets and you got to start all over with it, then it didn't cost you nothing, right? Or you're not missing out. You don't want to take your baby and do it, right? Learn how to do it on another one.
Probably don't want to take a $2,000 Telecaster or Les Paul or something and start grinding away at it. But yeah, growing up and working on cars here and there and just at work fixing things to just keep going, so you can learn how to repair stuff, soldering and little things that they used to teach like in shop class at school. So a lot of those things, if you paid a little attention and listened, you could still take all those skills and use them down the roads on something.
I love it. Papa Blue says doing fret jobs isn't bad unless the neck binding has nibs.
Yeah,
those Gibson guitars with the nibs on the end. Either you take it, if you need to refret, you're going to end up taking those things off, and you can't really put them back on.
Yeah, I've watched a video of a guy refret a nibbed Les Paul. And it's time consuming because you've got those nibs, but then they'll pull those old ones out. Hopefully they don't break the nibs, but then they've got to put that fret in and then just slowly grind it back until it fits perfectly back in there, and then they can press it back in. And I don't know if I would do that. I
don't know if I'd want to. I don't think I'd want to do that. I think maybe that's the point where you sit there and say, okay.
Yeah, I'm willing to pay a guy for that.
Lars Guitars is saying to Zach Thong, it's been good seeing you play live on camera. Yep, certainly. And we're going to welcome in Sandra Picorni saying hi, chat, and Charles 75. I appreciate it.
Hi, Sandra. Hope you're doing well.
Eddie Faith got a question for you. He says, are you retired nowadays, Steve? How do you balance guitar with family, friends, other interests, and still plan enough guitar time?
I am not retired. As far as family and friends, they don't live that far away, but we don't see each other a lot, so I got more time for guitars and stuff. Other than like if somebody calls and they need something fixed, or I'll go out and do a service call, or that might take a couple weeks depending on the job, so other than that, I got free time.
I love it. I love that.
Try not to have too much
I got some
drama and things. And,
I love it.
The drama and the stress of it all.
Greasy Monkey Guitar says, if I get a Gibson refretted, I'm all about being a no nibs dude. For sure.
Yeah.
And Sandra says, hi, Steve. It's nice to put a face with a name. Excellent.
Yeah, she's
I love this.
It's real
Ben
fun.
is saying Steve doesn't sleep.
No, a few hours, man. I'll take a couple naps and go.
All right, we can start the show for real now because everyone's favorite music in law, Ryan Hall, showed up.
Ryan.
Hey there, buddy.
Hope your knees are doing well, Ryan.
Yeah, he got that bionic knee put in and been recovering, so certainly wish him the best.
I'm wondering how hard he can jump after it heals up all the way.
Yeah. Does it make the sound?
Right. Or does he have to make the sound?
Yeah, it's like, I think with the amount of money you pay to have the surgery, they should install the sound.
Right. It should just happen when you jump.
Exactly. So let's talk about your guitar on the bench. What are you doing with the one on the bench there?
The one on the bench, it's just getting cleaned up, man. I'm gonna take the strings off, take this pick guard off of it, and get it all cleaned up, get the dog spit off of it, get the rusted strings off of it, and get it back to playing order. It's time.
Has this one been out of rotation for a little bit, or?
I still strum on it, but the strings are rusted. They've been on there for probably 2 years. I just kind of clean them every once in a while and just play it.
There you go.
I don't really ever plug it in to anything, so I just sit there and strum on it. And
so that's one you just kind of like to noodle on, and
yeah, just sit around and.
Gotcha.
But I wouldn't mind having it actually be playable,
No, that is the goal. That is the goal.
Be nice.
I wouldn't mind if it was playable. It would be great.
And then, when I got this, it came wrapped up in a bunch of small postal service boxes, all ripped up and taped together.
Yeah, the white boxes that are just little small ones, and
the real little white and blue ones that say post office on them. Yeah, they were just ripped up and all wrapped around it and taped and all over the body. And I'm like, what the hell is even this? When it showed up, it's not a box.
Well, Ben's reporting that he did a setup at 11 p.m. last night while quite high. There were witnesses.
I'm sure that happened.
Oh, I love it. And BC Rich is saying, Ben, that would explain why you now own a Warlock in Nashville tuning. Oh my. All right, so we're getting this one playable.
Yeah. I don't want it to not be playable, and I need to start actually learning some more songs and things.
Well, that's a good segue. So, what have you been working on? What have you been learning?
I've been really watching some Triumph videos and things, kind of watching what they've been doing, some live ones. I always grew up with like Triumph and oh man, a lot of bands like that my uncles were into, so I would hear them as a kid growing up, and then started listening to that stuff again recently, kind of reminiscing, and just the messages and the lyrics and some of the Triumph songs are uplifting songs, compared to a lot of the stuff we grew up to in the 90s. Yeah.
I think you're right though, because like a lot of the songs that have been running through my mind lately are songs from like the late 80s, really late 80s, early 90s, and maybe 85 to through the 90s, and so that time frame is kind of locked into my head right now. I mean, I have been doing the binge on the whole Tom Petty stuff.
Oh yeah, some Tom Petty you can't go wrong with. Some Supertramp. They've always got some great songs. So,
and so Ben says he needs to learn some new songs as well. Let's see, what does Wayne McConnell's got something to say? Hold on here. Let's see. So just finished putting a bunch of time doing everything needed on a 35 Egmont arch top with a P90 added to it. Nice. So this is something I would like to see.
Yeah. I think I'd like to learn the song Hold On by Triumph, actually. I like that song.
And Ed said, hey, they changed my work hours. I have to change the day and time of the shows starting July 5, Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Okay. So that's 6 p.m. Central. I could watch on the way home from work.
Yeah, when you texted me Central, I about was like, what is Central?
We've had this conversation before, Steve.
Oh, the middle position time zone.
That's right. It's funny though, because like sometimes I'll forget exactly where somebody is, and so that's why I'll give Central. If I remember that song's in Eastern time, I'll give it in Eastern time. But yeah, it's like okay. But all right, so Ed's got a new time. I'll be able to listen to that on the way home. I'll be able to catch it instead of having to find a little corner to hide in when I'm out with wife on Saturday and come in.
Yeah, Ed's been coming along pretty well on his guitar stuff.
Well, good. Yeah, it's him and I. We usually talk at least once a week. Yeah, but we have not been able to get together to do a guitar thing lately. So,
right. Mm-hmm. He's getting his scales down. It seems like. And
so, searching for Tone, Brian, welcome in. He says, "Hello, everybody," and he's on the mobile, so he's out and about, but he's checking in with us.
Oh, hi, Brian. Hope you're doing well.
Mm-hmm. So, love it. Just trying to catch us up with the chat. All right, so there he is. Mark Taft is here. Hello there, Mark. Hope you're doing well, bud.
Hi, Mark.
We got a question from Ryan Hall. He says, Steve, ever use Fat Fret? Use it every time I play guitar, and strings last for over a year.
I have, Ryan. I did have some that was in like a stick form that you would rub on and kind of peel back the paper. And then I found an old can and I tried to use it, but there was no more aerosol in it. So it wouldn't squirt out. Mm-hmm. I have to grab a new can of it. I've been using this, I don't know if it's Dr. Duck's.
Okay.
Axe wax and string lube.
Do you ever notice how all these things have really odd names? Dr. Ducks.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, yeah, and it's like even the little things of just simply wiping down that neck, right? Just take a microfiber cloth and wipe it down and go a far way to keeping those strings fresh.
Yeah.
So something's better than nothing.
A little bit of just to try to get some of the oils and stuff off the strings, but a lot of times you just set it right down and then you're off to do something and you don't even think about wiping it.
Yeah. And Zach Thong says same thing with him. He learned a lot of songs from his uncle and his cousin. Excellent. Ed, you're right. I am an hour behind you. So it would be 4 p.m. time. Glad somebody's paying attention here because I'm not. So that means I'm going to have my headphones. I have to have my headphones on work listening in while I finish up my work day, I think.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. All right. Well, we got a plan. We got a plan. And BC Rich 581 reporting in, Fast Fret works great, but I forget to use it, but it helps so much when I remember. Here you go. See, something's better than nothing.
So back to Eddie Faye's poll question and songs and stuff. What kind of genre are you looking mostly to be in?
Honestly, I'm not. I'm not locked into a genre because I'm just thinking of what are the things that I've always wanted to learn to play. Something that I thought was really cool or intricate, or that it just grabs me, right?
Right.
And so those little things that you want to pick up, and so I've got a list of 4. I need to pick the 5. I'm not going to reveal the listing before the show though, even though 4, the 4 because you were here.
You get the 4. Well,
we talked about it, but it just those things that just kind of stick in your mind, and you can hear every note of that solo or that riff in your head because it's so ingrained in you from listening, and it grabbed you so much. So those are some of the things that I want to learn to play, because once you have that piece of it, you want to go on and you want the whole song or whatever.
So is your last song that you're wanting to put on your list like a popular radio song, or is it just something you grew up with liking?
Well,
that may not be that popular now, but maybe your parents liked it.
I am willing to bet it's something older, right? Because I'm looking at the things that are on the list, and they're all older stuff. They're at least 90s.
That's what I noticed about your
from
list.
60, from 60s to 90s, it's in there.
Yeah.
And there's some older stuff that I'd like to do too. And so, but I don't know. This list, the four you and I talked about earlier, they came easy. They're like, I want to learn that. Want to learn that. One of them's like a song I've been listening to. So I was like, I want to play that solo. I want to play that solo, right? And it's just kind of a haunting solo, and I was like, I want to learn how to play that. And most of the other ones are intros, right? The intro to something, and because there's some interesting picking or arpeggios in them, or that kind of thing. Those things that in the back of your mind speak to some kind of a skill playing across the strings rather than just a chord.
Yeah. The little hook that catches you in, draws you into the song.
Well, shouldn't Charles learn a Pink Floyd track? That should be something that's on the list. And there is, I play a little bit of Wish You Were Here already, right? And it's not actually the right way, but it's a more simplified way that I figured out how to play. But I probably should learn how to play that the right way. No K-pop, no.
Could do like Comfortably Numb. It's got some slow melodic.
Comfortably Numb would be really cool.
Yeah.
Want to welcome in Richard Clark. He's saying hello to everybody. And he's just too many people to say hello to. I get that. Welcome in. But no, it's that was the whole thing. We were talking about, could we make our show better? And the chat came through with some suggestions. And Eddie's was one that I thought that we could probably institute pretty soon down the road. So, and honestly, it's a little bit of an accountability for me to get off my butt and learn some new stuff.
Right.
Because I've been, kind of playing mostly the same stuff repeatedly.
So when you learn these 5 songs, are you going to showcase these 5 songs on the show? Or will these be personal songs?
Say that one more time. I missed that.
Will these, when you do the 5 songs, are you going to pick the one you like the best that you play, and then play that on the show?
That's good. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give the list of the 5, right? And we're going to put a poll up in the chat, and the chat's going to decide which one I learned that week. And then maybe I'll just keep adding songs to a song to list, or maybe a new list every week. Or maybe folks will suggest songs in the chat, and then I'll give. And then so I'll need to look at what the suggestions are, right? And sit there and say, okay, every week I'll give a list of 5 songs, and I need to be ready to learn one of those 5. And so,
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be
yeah,
a lot of fun.
we'll see how it goes.
I vote for Slayer, Angel of Death.
Yeah, there isn't a link to Steve's channel. He did right now. He doesn't have anything up on the channel, and but when he does, we will add him to the list of our links in. If he does something, we'll add him to our list of links in that I usually attach to the show.
Thanks, Charles.
No, anytime. I said it doesn't search easily on YouTube because there's no current content there. So
right,
yeah. Let's see. And Blackjack says that, Ryan, I'm glad you're healing well, and Mom's taking care of you for a change. There you go. And Patrick Trite says, I think that Charles should learn a Johnny Paycheck song. It's true. Oh my. This is getting, if you can learn, wish you were here. Yep, anybody can. Yeah, that's one I've got a little bit of down. So we talk about it. So welcome in, Josh. Late as always. Sup, gentlemen? Well, sup to you, buddy. I am just trying to see if I'm making sure I'm not missing here. Eddie Faye says, Slayer, Angel of Death. I've never heard it. By the title, it seems like an upbeat, positive triumph. Oh, that's too much.
Sometimes you just find yourself in a location, Eddie, and you're like, hell yeah. A wall of sound hits you in the chest as a curtain falls. You're like, wow, that's Slayer.
Sometimes a fella ought to know better to put an Eddie Faye comment up, but the guy contributes.
You walk away a little bit different after that a small club show at full volume.
Yeah, Richard Clark says I would vote for some Johnny Paycheck, vote for some Johnny Cash as well. Everyone needs some Cash or Dylan in there. Here you go. All right, let me take that off. Steve, why don't you talk to the crowd? I need to go take care of my car alarm that's going off for no reason.
All right, on.
Yeah, hold on. That's not the right one.
It's the wrong one.
Here you go. Yeah, you got it?
Oh, let's see. Well, Sean, how you doing, man?
All right, so sorry, I am back.
No, that's good. I think Sean popped in.
Sean,
didn't already say hi.
Yeah. Welcome in, Sean Hockey. He says, Ben Combs, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. It's good to see, certainly good to see Sean Hockey in the chat. All right, so before I really just walked out on you.
No, that's, hey. That or your neighbors start pounding on your door.
Yeah, exactly. I have a neighbor that has a motorcycle, and he purposely drives as close to my car as he can and will rev it to set off my car alarm. And it's actually not a neighbor. It is someone that's visiting a neighbor. Oh my God. So like, okay, we'll get you one day. So, Steve, what is on you? Since you did that to me, what's on your list of songs for? Let's turn this around.
Well, I'd like to learn Hold On by Triumph. And I've been listening to that Blue Bayou song.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to learn that too. And then maybe relearn One from Metallica.
Okay.
Not a huge Metallica fan, but I've always really liked that song.
Is there something about that song in particular that draws you to it, or?
I don't know. Maybe it's just the time that I heard it, and I've always kind of liked the guitar progression in it, and like the beginning of it, and
Mm-hmm.
but one's always been a pretty decent song. It's not super fast or heavy or anything, but kind of. I kind of kid about the Slayer thing because I mean I can't move my hands that fast. That's
It would definitely give you something to work on.
oh yeah.
So they are weird. All right. Josh says my buddy used to live in a nice, expensive cul-de-sac. Kids used to go on their bikes, shake the cars to get the alarms to go off. Buddy had enough attached alarm with the loudest air horn at 1,500 psi. They found poop in the street. I love it. I love it. New job for them.
Wow.
Gotcha, Ed. He meant July 7th is when they'll start the show for sure. All right, so you got those 3 songs. What is your okay? So you got the songs that you want to work on. What's going to be your approach?
Well, there's always YouTube, and that seems to be a pretty easy way to figure some things out. Yes. So.
It's where I'm going because there's probably a lesson out there, right?
Yeah. At least some of the I haven't been on a lot of the like tab websites lately. I used to go to Ultimate Guitar every once in a while, but you would find a whole bunch of different ones, and it's like if you didn't know which one was right,
exactly, yeah,
then which one's right, so but I think there's a couple other ones like Cordy or something might be one that might have more accurate like chords to it.
Mm-hmm. We're Ben Zitter says, I told you how to correct that guy. And you're right. I just haven't been in the right place at the right time to do it. So, the idea is to go ahead. And the guy, you'd be watching on my camera, and before he even gets to the car, set off the alarm. There you go. Nice and loud, scare him for a change.
Preemptive.
That's right.
Yeah.
Love it. I don't know. Yeah, Patrick Trice says tabs I can find to get. He said he finds that tabs can get you close, but there's always something just not right about them. That's true. I've heard that before. Yeah, and Sean Hollis says, hey, brother, are you the same? Josh at the top. Do you remember Indie Guitar Geek channel? Just watch Twig. I have no idea what that means. And install that Android shirt for sure. All right, so are you you're gonna go to YouTube, you find a lesson, right? And you start working on it. Where do you go from there?
I guess I just strum along.
Just keep working on it.
Just keep working on it. I just want some easy strumming stuff so I can get some hand strength back, and then I don't know. I just want to, just play around. And most of the time, I'm just sitting there strumming out D and A and G chords, and just strumming along with stuff. So
Yeah, I find at first, my first approach is look at it. I'll watch the lesson and I'll play along with the stuff that I already know, and then I'll look at, okay, are there chords or notes in here that I'm not familiar with? Is there something new for me? And then I'll work on that particular chord or that particular note or whatever the technique is there on that piece, so that I can do that. And once I have that on, I try to put it all back together.
Yeah. I also think I'd like to learn. There's a big old IR. There's a there's still kind of around Trickster. They had some pretty good songs back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and or maybe it was like late 80s even. But like "Give It to Me Good" was a good song, and they had a couple other ones that had like some acoustic and electric guitars in them that aren't real heavy or anything. They're just good songs to listen to, you know.
Well, yeah, I like that. I like to get, find something that, like you said, I love the songs that you kind of just strum along to, because it's those things that, if you're like me, where I keep my guild in the living room, and I can just pick it up and just start strumming along while I'm doing something else, and just kind of work through the chords. I've noticed that there are a lot of little quick things like that on YouTube in the shorts, right? Where a guy will come on and get you interested in his channel, teaching you how to play guitar. It's like, oh, if you want to learn to play the song, here are the chords to it, and here's the rhythm. And it's like, you get like a minute, and then it's like, okay, that's all I need to get started, right?
Yeah. I actually just need to dedicate myself to it. That's the thing, is actually at least take a full 20, 30 minutes at least, and actually just sit there and try to learn something.
See, Patrick, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Patrick tries to get some good advice here. Says stop playing what you know and practice the stuff you're weak at. It's the only way to get better. It's true.
Yeah. Yeah. I find myself going over the same like scale.
Oh yeah, I think it's really easy for us to slip back into that, because you realize, hey, I haven't picked it up in a while. Okay, let me pick it up and play. What am I going to do with it? And then you fall into stuff that you play all the time.
Part of it's trying to just remember that stuff too. I'm like, okay, and then get the muscle memory, and then get some speed to it, but not be pounding at it at the same time like an acoustic to try to get some volume on an electric guitar and then just ruin the whole sound for yourself.
Of course. Well, welcome in, Earl Cool Eyes. It's howdy, friends. Sorry I'm late. I was up to 2 a.m. with the OU12 crew. What are you boys drinking? Well, during the show, Steve and I both been sucking down some coffee.
Yeah.
Which is why we're a little bit late.
I had some coffee this morning.
Had to go get those refills before time ran out. It looks like Brother Ed's going to be giving you a call later.
Yeah, I'll be around this afternoon, Ed.
And Zach Thong says, I learned that early that most tabs online are not correct. That's why he always listens to the album and uses ear to figure it out. And I guess, and that's a good way to do it. Once you've got the tabs right, and use your ear to decipher out the differences. I'm not one of those people where I can just listen to a song and then learn to play it.
Right.
Well,
before I put the guitar down for a long while, I was to a point to where I was familiar with the chord sounds, so I could hear that in the songs a lot of time, or the note. I'd be like, oh, they're playing, a G and there's a C chord or whatever. And then you kind of, if you don't think about that stuff or hear it a lot and you're off doing other things, you kind of, at least for myself, I kind of just forgot to even listen to that stuff as much, to be able to pick it out. So I'm like trying to retrain my ear to pick some of that stuff out a little bit more too.
I'm getting a little better that way. I can, as I'm plucking around on my guitar, I can start hearing some things, right? I start saying, oh, this is the chord from that. This is the chord from that. Oh, this is the chord progression. Okay, so I'm starting to pick that out a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm not quite there. I'm still working on it. Eddie Fay says Ben Coombs will confirm it's impossible to play along with BTOs, taking care of business and not enjoy yourself, and the chords are not that hard. So, actually, that sounds pretty good. I like that idea.
That could be number.
That could be number 5
right there. That's number 5. He did it. You were asking for suggestions. You got one.
Oh, we might just have to add that on.
Yeah, add that on, and then you could have a number 6 for a bonus if you wanted.
That's right. See, and Ed says the same thing with him. You got to find that time to play. Sure. The worst thing is if you go too long, you just kind of fall back into your old habits, like all the stuff that you've been working on. You're back to doing it again.
Yeah.
And Blackjack Guitar says that's why it's important to play with others and share and compare notes for sure. Wow, Ed's giving you some grief. He's like, just make sure you got your guitar in tune, Steve. It's probably more often the other way around, Ed.
Yeah. Get your tuner out, Ed.
Martin is saying, ever learned a song so much that once you finally managed to play it properly, you said, fuck it, now that I've got that, I'll never play it again. It's like, yeah, because it took so much to get there. You're like, I don't want to ever see this thing again.
You realize you hate that song.
Oh, that's funny. And Martin says, and he also says, I've had that 2 times with something I had to play for a wedding. Yep. Oh, he's getting all defensive. I have to do to make sure my guitar is in tune. Don't want John DeShane giving me a hard time. Yep, that's right. For sure.
Well, see, John's somebody to listen to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's got some killer.
He'll let you know real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Art says Grateful Dead's Tennessee Jet is a good one. Easy enough to play. Excellent. Well, Brother William DeSylvia has made his way in. What's up?
William, how you doing, man?
Love it. And Patrick Dwight says he likes to jam the BTOs. My Wheels Won't Turn. Great deep cut. All right, here you go. Ben says, don't get him started on tuning. And Zach Thong says he plays and practices guitar every day.
Zach's really good.
Yeah, he is. He really is.
He's got some really nice guitars too.
I am so jealous of his acoustics. They're absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah,
the guy knows how to play.
Just the inlays and then the backs of them. Oh man.
Oh yeah,
they sound awesome.
And Jim's been working on playing a lot of Zeppelin lately. Nice. I love it. I'm sure I'm going to have some Zeppelin songs on one of my lists coming up pretty soon. Not on the first list though, but
I'd like to play Over the Hills and Far Away. I used to know a little bit of that song.
Mm-hmm. That's a good song.
Relearn that.
So you've got you bet I'm gonna learn to talk one day, and then I'll have this show on YouTube and it'll all be worthwhile. Oh, that's the wrong order.
All right.
So I mean, after you did last time I had you on was about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And not too long ago, you did Ben Coombs show.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was that experience like for you?
Oh, that was a fun time. Hanging out. It's a fun hang, man. How you doing, Matt? Yeah. comfortable hang. If if you're in the chat some night on a show and he asks you to come on, come on.
Yeah,
It's a fun time and get to know a little bit about each other in the chats and meet each other and just like this, so it's comfortable.
It's pretty cool because it's like this. It's a conversation between friends. There's no real pressure in it.
Yeah, and it's later at night, so you can have a drink if you want, hang out.
Matt says, "Yep, I didn't drink, so I'm alive." Love it.
Oh.
So you had a good time over there, is what you're saying?
Oh yeah, it's a fun time. Ben's a good guy. It's like I don't even remember what we talked about. It went so fast.
It is. He's a pro. It's like it's you on his show, and you don't have to carry all the weight, right? He's gonna keep it going for you. So Josh says one of these days he's gonna get enough free time to do it. Awesome.
Cool. That'd be great.
Glenn Michael Thompson says there are some good Zeppelin books with music and tabs that are accurate and available, right tunings and all.
Nice.
Are you a big one for alternate tuning, Steve, or you pretty much stay E standard?
I've been in just E standard here lately. Was kind of getting around to some alternate tunings a little bit, just for the open chords. Mm-hmm. But when I do, I try to find something that I can still make the same chord shapes. Yeah. And the patterns will stay, like your scale patterns will basically stay the same.
Here you go. I honestly, I pretty much stay in E standard. Unless something specifically, comes up and then you think, okay, now tune down to this. And other than that, I pretty much stay in E standard.
Yeah.
I haven't been brave enough to venture out yet.
Some of them are nice because you can just kind of pluck out notes, mm-hmm. and it sounds good. So E standard, you can hit a lot more open strings on an alternate tuning, and it still sound pretty decent for you.
Yeah. Just want to remind folks that if you're looking to see what's on Ben Coombs' channel tonight, the Sunday Night Hang with Charles Green. So another Charles Green episode, you can't miss that.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah,
Ben and Charles together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the two of them, they get together. It is just a fantastic show. You never want to miss it. I swear, Charles could tell the same story 6 times in a row. I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
The man is a born storyteller.
Yeah. He knows how to tell the story, and it makes it engaging. Like you're almost there when he does tell the stories too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ben says E standard, drop D, and open G tunings for him. And McCall Music is throwing up with the suggestion of standard tuning.
Yeah. Well.
Dad Gag is fun for tuning to start experimenting with. You can drop the G to F sharp and your open D. There you go. So Ed is threatening that he will be watching Ben's show tonight.
Yes. The threats have been thrown out there, Ben.
I'm watching your show. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Love it. Eddie Fay says, Rick Beato did a nice video on Chris Cornell's seasons using alternate tuning. From playability perspective, it makes you think, oh, that's how he did that. Interesting.
I don't think I've seen that video. I've seen it come up on my
I
feed.
have not
I haven't
either.
watched it.
If only it were already 7 p.m. here. Got that. Let's see. Yeah, Charles Green plans on playing 3 songs tonight with Ben. Oh, Sean's got all the backstory now. Okay.
Nice.
Love it. And Richard Clark says, don't be scared of open tunings. They're incredibly simple. Hit open G, pick a Stone song, and you'll know in 5 minutes. All right. Some good advice there. And Martin says, also, slide blues and open G is really easy. And Ben says, we usually stick to Charles playing 1. Let's see. Ryan Hall says, Martin, I stay at Mother's and she doesn't like me to get on the net and watch shows. There you go. So mom's like, hey, you're going to be over here. No YouTubing.
Right. It's mom's time.
And Ryan Hall's a good boy. So go listen to his mother. Like that. So what do you got planned for your guitar future here? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What's shaking?
Well, now that you say you can't find my channel, I'm gonna have to at least put up a video so that you can search my channel.
Well, that was the thing, and I'm gonna drop the link to your channel in the chat here because the reason why we had Steve put a comment in the chat so I could pull up his channel easily.
Yeah.
And so if you want to go ahead and sub to Steve's channel there, and you get on and give him subs, that when he starts making some stuff that you can find him, it will be a little bit easier. So there's the link to Steve's channel.
And I do have a box that I could do an unboxing video on.
See, that's a good way to get started.
Yeah.
You just get on and do an unboxing.
And just kind of waiting so I had time to actually enjoy it when I unboxed it instead of just unboxing it and setting it down. So I hate doing that because the next thing you know, you're like, oh yeah, I got that thing. I've never used it because I sat it down after I got busy.
Right. Yeah. That's how you get to where you have something. It doesn't get open because, I was going to do a video on that.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think I might be able to do that. And then,
see, Sean Hockey subbed you already.
Oh, thanks, Sean. That needs cleaned. So,
So Ben goes, likely be one. It's a talk show after all. Only he and Pete Thorne plays on his channel. Oh, and Quentin James, of course.
Of course, Quentin.
Yeah, the drive-by birthday. Maybe change 12 strings on the guitar. Wow, everyone's after a 12-string guitar change.
I can't change and do a 12-string. Oh shit. I could do 2 6-strings though, and then if you wanted to do a 12-string, Charles.
I have, I need to do the 12 string. Well, I made a decision about the 12 string. What I'm going to do is we're going to do the live stream of changing the strings, right? But all the other stuff that needs to be done, I'm going to do a series of videos, cleaning the fretboard, cleaning the frets, all this stuff kind of leading up to the live stream.
We could send you like 10 thimbles.
There you go.
Yeah,
right, yeah. So you've had 3 subs here in the past minute here.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah. All right, so we're at 12 o'clock. We have just burned through the hour so quick that I didn't even know it was going by.
That was fast.
I know. I tell you.
That's fun, man. Thanks for having me on.
No, I thank you for coming on. Martin says, I thought he said he was going to sell it and buy another 12-string with strings on. There you go. William says he does make glass thimbles. I'll send you a few. Okay, it might be a good idea.
See, you don't have to worry about poking your fingers.
Oh, it is so funny. To me, it's just going to be the nightmare of making sure I got the thinner strings on the top right in doing that. It is. I think it's just a hang up of doing it in front of everybody, right?
Right. Yeah.
Charles is going to do a Pete Townsend with the 12 string. Oh my! Oh, change it and then smash it. Oh gosh. We could hang together and add your channel. So you better yet have Charles on your channel changing the children. Okay. Full of the ideas. Well, we're going to go ahead and full of the ideas. Steve, thank you so much for coming on again. It's just a ball talking.
Thanks,
I mean, and you and I and Ed were on the about a week ago or so, just kind of shooting. We went like an hour and a half just shooting the crap. Yeah. And so I always enjoy talking to you, my friend. I appreciate you coming on.
Thanks, man. It's a blast, Charles. And come on, guys. If Charles needs some guests.
Yeah. So Ian and Indy says, I'm late of changing the oil in the lawnmower and then cut the grass. Well, we're getting ready to sign off here, buddy. But thank you for coming in. Just a reminder to everybody that if you want to be a guest on Chat with Charles, the link is down in the description of every Chat with Charles and Guitar Safari. And it's also on the information part of my YouTube page. So if you'd like to get yourself on an episode of Chat with Charles, we'd love to have you send me an email and we'll set something up.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, JP Page said, I already did my guest on Chatting with Chuck. He did. It's a good episode, too. All right, so everyone go ahead and have a great Sunday. Make sure you check out Guitar Therapy Last. Guitar Therapy Last? Wow. Music Therapy Last with his music therapy show next. And Ben Coates going to have Charles Green on later. So, Steve, you hold on. We're going to let these folks go out with our nifty theme song. And I hope everyone has a great weekend.
Yeah. Have a great day, everybody. Okay.